End, Aldon Smith has been conditionally reinstated by the NFL after not playing since 2015. This will allow Smith to participate in the Cowboys' virtual offseason program that begins next week. And according to Fox Bet, the Cowboys' win total is projected at 9.5. So, Shannon, in your opinion, how much impact will Smith have on the Cowboys?
Skip, having played this game, and I like to think I played at a high level. I consider myself one of the best conditioned athletes when I played the game of football. It's just hard for me to believe that this guy will play a significant role after being away from the game for 4 or 5 years. Skip, it's just hard for me to believe. His last double-digit sack season was 2012. Skip, that was 8 years ago. Let that sink in for just a second. That was 8 years ago. And we're asking a guy to basically come out of retirement, exile, and to contribute. Now, I believe what they're hoping for, Skip, is they can get 5.5 sacks from him, 5.5 sacks from Randy Gregory. That's 10 sacks. That can somewhat replace the production of what they lost in Robert Quinn, who signed that massive deal with the Chicago Bears. So we understand that. But for him to come back and expect him to be the impact player that he was when he left, Skip, I just don't see that happening. Skip, look, and I get Jay and Glaze worked with us. Jay Glazer, he works with us, and so I have the utmost respect for him. But Skip, and he says that this young man is in great shape. But hell, so is everybody else that's working out right now. They're in great shape. But they haven't taken 4.5, 5 years off in order to get back and play a game. So for me, Skip, it's hard for me to see, and I'm very skeptical. I wish him the best. Now, I don't want people like, well, you just say, no. I want him to come back, hopefully he has his life in order, and he can contribute to the Cowboys. But I'm just skeptical of someone that can be away from the game for this amount of time, having played this game, knows what it takes to play this game at a very high level, for him to miss that kind of time and be able to come back and be a major contributor. Skip, I'm skeptical. So I'm thinking that they're thinking if they can get 10, 11 sacks combined from Gregory and Aldon Smith, that's a win from them, Skip. But the production that people are like, oh, man, he's in this kind of shape and he's going to give you double. No, I don't see that. I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. But I just don't see it, Skip.
Okay, on this one, I respect your skepticism. You're on the right side of being skeptical. You're on the correct side of this because he hasn't played for 5 years, and obviously it's against long odds that he would come back and be at all productive. I've told you from the start, I have a good feeling about this one. I believe this could be a, so to speak, fairy tale story and comeback. Aldon Smith is only 30 years of age. Obviously, in his first 2 years, to your point, long time ago, but his first 2 years in this league, he piled up sacks at a pace nobody ever has. So we know he has that in him, or at least he used to. The man who coached him in those days, Jim Tomsula, is now with Dallas. And I'm sure he was a driving force in saying, let's take an incentive-based shot here. And his contract is just almost all incentive-based. It's almost like from month to month. If you show up, if you come to training camp, if you play a preseason game, you get a little more, a little more, a little more, and then we start getting into sack totals, and you can get considerably more. I was ecstatic he got reinstated. Shannon, I thought it was actually a little bit of a long shot that the commissioner would say, okay, I'll rubber stamp you back into the league, because his rap sheet in this league is one of the ugliest in the history of this league. Multiple violations of substance abuse and personal conduct. I'm not even remotely trying to defend any of that. I'm just here to say, I believe in our man, Jay Glazer. Jay Glazer's reputation is not one to throw something against the wall and hope it sticks. He's not prone to exaggeration or overstatement in his reporting. I'm going to take it to the bank when he writes on The Athletic that this is a different person. This man has turned his life around, and he is going to 12-step sort of meetings in relation to the organization that Jay helps run, which is called Merging Vets and Players. He's spoken consistently to the veteran group, about his recovery, about his newfound sobriety. And Shannon, obviously, he's been in Dallas now for about a month, living, working out. If he gets caught up like so many Cowboys in the past have in the Dallas nightlife and he falls off the wagon, then obviously you're way right. So that I'm holding my breath on. But Jay Glazer says he has turned his life around, and I'm going to buy it and believe it. And Jay Glazer, as you point out, says he has really turned his physique around because he came to Jay at the gym that he runs called Unbreakable Performance at around 260 pounds, and they put 25 pounds of muscle on him, according to Jay, and I'm going to buy it, and that he's now 287 with a V, that he is rocked up, that they have a contraption called the Raptor, resistance bands pulling from the wall, and that a lot of NFL studs have exercised on this machine, have worked out on it, and that Aldon Smith pulled it off the wall. And Jay just said, I've never seen anything like this before. He's a beast. He's a monster. That he is breaking the sort of perceptions that Jay had of what an athlete can be as a big man athlete, that he's got it all in ways Jay has never seen. And Jay's had so many athletes come through Unbreakable Performance. So Shannon, okay, I'm going to buy that. Does that translate into playing football? No. Has he played at a high, obviously, absolutely he's played at a high level 8 years ago, as you point out, and he hasn't played at all for 5. But the sense that I'm getting is that he will be a contributor. I'm not going to be shocked if he becomes a star again. But to your point, if you give me a little bit of Aldon Smith and a little bit of Randy Gregory and a little bit of that kid that I think they stole in the 5th round, Bradley Anae from Utah, who's got edge to him, high motor edge. If you can get a little bit from him as a rookie, coming off that other edge from DeMarcus Lawrence, now you're talking, that we're back in business. But I just have a feeling Aldon Smith, who's got a whole lot of edge in him, that if that edge is now focused, if it's channeled in the right direction instead of the wrong direction off the field, I think you could have the story of the year, the comeback story of the year in Aldon Smith. Obviously, we're all rooting for him, and he's got to stay sober to start with, but I think this could be a home run for the Dallas Cowboys.
Skip, it's just, Skip, think about the amount of time that 5 years is. We've never seen an athlete take that kind of time off and come back and be anything close to what he was. Skip, even Muhammad Ali took it from the ages of 28 to 25. He came back to recapture, but Skip, he wasn't what he was. He was not. Now, Michael Jordan took that time off, Skip, but we chalked that up to him age. I mean, Michael was, 37, 38, 39, or maybe 38, 39, 40.